Everything begins with a simple message. A 15-year-old girl watching a YouTube Live sends out a text to reach out, curious. The creator, Jupiter. The hybrid responds with words that feel gentle, borderline caring. Until you listen closer, do you like me? What do you want me to do? I can do whatever you want.
Kirsten, is it? What do you want to see me do? Like, give me your honest opinion.
The tone is soft, but the implication, there's nothing innocent about it. This moment didn't just rattle viewers, it blew up the internet. That line crossed every boundary. His strange hybrid persona, werewolves, demons, bizarre aesthetic, stopped being just odd. It became a synchronized act that masked something far more sinister. At that moment, Jupiter's myth became a weapon. On one of his YouTube live streams, Jupiter crossed a line that shocked even those who were already skeptical of him. While chatting with viewers, he engaged in conversation with a girl who was clearly underage, which she also later states clearly saying she's younger. Instead of setting boundaries, he did the opposite. He offered her his phone number live on stream. And this wasn't just a one-off slip. Jupiter has repeatedly used his YouTube channel not to entertain, not to inspire. Take one stream titled, "Hey, is Jupiter here?" where a young girl named Kirsten appeared in chat saying, "I love watching your videos." What followed was nothing short of disturbing. Jupiter turned the live stream into a direct back-and-forth conversation with her.
Kirsten, I'm gonna ask, you male or female? Answer me honestly on that one.
Kirsten responded, "I'm a woman." Jupiter pushed further.
Are you crushing on me, by the way? Kirsten, you crushing on me?
To which she replied, "Maybe." Instead of backing off, Jupiter leaned in. He asked what she wanted to see him do, encouraged her to confess if she was in love with him.
If you want, Kirsten. If you are in love with me, you can tell me. It's okay. Promise I won't judge.
And then, right there in the live chat, gave her his personal number. It didn't stop there. Another young viewer was also there, whose chats have been deleted, and to both Jupiter says, "Sure, you both can call me." Do it separately, though. And when Kirsten admitted she was younger too, he brushed it off, replying, "That's okay with me." He then went as far as to share his Snapchat and Instagram handles, adding, "I like all sorts of women." This wasn't trolling, it wasn't decoys trying to catch him slipping. The interaction felt genuine and raw, and the fact that these appeared to be actual kids makes the whole situation not just inappropriate, but incredibly dangerous.
And came into something else, you know? If you want, after this, we can talk on Facebook and I can take a shower for you. I sometimes let the women I'm close to watch me shower.
I'll talk to you later, Jupiter. It's nice meeting you.
Mm-hmm.
That single live stream pulled back the curtain, showing Jupiter not as some eccentric online character, but as someone actively preying on underage viewers. And Jupiter has been like this for quite some time, but it raises the question, where did it even start? Was he always this way, or was he shaped into the person we see now? To really understand Jupiter the hybrid, or Corbin Pennell, his real name, you need to look beyond his disturbing online behavior and trace it back to the roots of his family. Because when you peel back the layers, you'll find that his story is not an isolated case. It's part of a much darker legacy.
I mean, we had, like, a fairly okay childhood. I mean, yes, him and I have some abuse trauma. We have very similar trauma. I have a little bit more than he does.
And here's where things get uncomfortable. Because Jupiter isn't the only predator in his family. Both of his brothers are registered offenders.
Our brother, Junior, or Shane, as most people know him, he wasn't a very good brother, so to speak. But that happened, I think I was 3, and Corbin was 4, and that kind of went on until we were 9 and 10. So...
His younger brother, Shane Pennell, also known as Junior, was arrested for crimes against minors, and is currently serving his sentence. He's scheduled to be released in 2027, though there are already reports of him asking for an early release based on good behavior. His older brother, Duke Pennell, now around 40 years old, was arrested at age 32 for inappropriate conduct with a minor under 16. The victim? A 14-year-old girl who babysat his children. According to reports, Duke carried on an inappropriate relationship with her over the course of several weeks. The authorities finally caught him through a sting when the girl was instructed to call Duke and tell him she was pregnant. His response? He offered to help her either raise the child or arrange for an abortion, all while telling her to keep the relationship secret so he wouldn't get in trouble. If pressed, he told her, she should lie, say she was drunk at a party and didn't know who the father was. Eventually, Duke served his time, and unbelievably, he has since been released, remarried, and now even has children. Now, hearing all this, you might wonder if these behaviors were coincidences, or if something deeper was at play.
When he got older and when I got older and started developing more, like reaching our puberty stages, then he would attempt to like me or my sisters. It got so bad where I actually had to get my dad involved.
Jupiter's own sister Kia gives us the answer. In an interview, she revealed something chilling. Their biological father admitted that a lot of the men in this family are predators.
A little bit. I mean, I've been talking with my biological father, and he does say that a lot of the men, specifically the men in my family, my biological family, are predators.
That's not just one bad seed. That's a generational pattern. And unfortunately, Jupiter seems to be continuing the cycle.
But he would want hugs, and he would put his hands where they didn't belong, and then we would call him out on it.
The same interview revealed even more disturbing family history. Kia shared that she currently has a restraining order against Jupiter himself.
He's always been very aggressive. He did me with guns, so I just showed it to a judge, and the judge is like, this is weird, we're gonna get you a restraining order. And that was the end of that, basically.
She also detailed that their brother Shane, yes, the same one in prison, would touch them inappropriately when they were younger. These are deeply traumatic experiences, the kind that can shape a child's psyche forever. And when you look at Jupiter today, his erratic outbursts, his explosive anger when called out, the way he lashes back at criticism, it all ties back to that broken foundation.
I did talk to my biological father and explain some of the things that Junior did. And my biological father was like, oh, that's probably my fault. I used to take your siblings and make them escape from it or something like that. Don't remember all the conversation.
His aggression isn't random. It's the same volatility that was allowed to fester in a family riddled with abuse, neglect, and predators.
But what had happened was my mom had just gotten home. She was heading back down the hallway to the bathroom, and she happened to look over at the boys' door, and on the door was a sign that said, "Don't come in, we are playing." Well, she opened the door. Shane had used, I think, their ties and was touching him inappropriately.
But here's the important distinction. Having trauma doesn't give you license to inflict trauma on others. Plenty of people come from broken homes without becoming abusers themselves. But in Jupiter's case, the patterns of his past didn't just stay in the past, they became his playbook for the future. You can see it in the excuses he makes today. His mother once justified his behavior by saying he is autistic, and even downplayed other red flags.
Corbin's kind of always had anger issues ever since we were really tiny. They started getting worse and worse because Mom would say things like, he's autistic, he doesn't know what he's doing, but then I'm sure that everyone can very well tell he does indeed know what he's doing.
Now Jupiter falls back on those same excuses, sometimes even worse, saying that his bad temper or habits like smoking are supposed to explain his inappropriate behavior toward younger audiences.
To be honest. And yes, that's what happened when I was high on nicotine. I didn't know they were underage until later because I was impulsive. I acted impulsively.
It's a twisted recycling of the very same rationalizations that let his family's behavior go unchecked for so long. And when people confront him, that's when the mask slips.
So yeah, half the stuff that I did, what drove me to do it was nicotine and alcohol. That really messed me up, really messed up who I was.
Jupiter is known for snapping at his critics, shouting, getting defensive, and turning hostile whenever someone calls him out for his predatory actions. Instead of reflection or accountability, he reacts with aggression. This is classic behavior from someone who has grown up in a cycle of dysfunction. Anger becomes his first defense mechanism.
Shouldn't be talking shit to people like me. Otherwise, pay the price. Screw you and your entire crew.
It's not about proving innocence. It's about intimidating, deflecting, and protecting his fragile self-image.
Make me seem like an asshole in front of everybody on TikTok. I'm done.
The saddest part is that some of these behaviors could have been stopped if intervention had happened early enough. Education, therapy, and prevention could have broken the cycle. But instead, a family already steeped in predatory behavior and trauma kept repeating the same story generation after generation. And now Jupiter sits at the center of it, someone who is both a product of his environment and a danger to anyone who crosses his path.
I think he should be held accountable, and the two sisters that I've been talking to, they both agree. Quite frankly, right now, with everything going on, my birth dad, if he knew where Corbin was, would kill him. And my adopted dad isn't that kind of person. Also, he wouldn't let that kind of person back into his home because we have 24 nieces and nephews.
So when you see Jupiter today, streaming his unrealistic claims online, interacting in questionable ways with younger viewers during live streams, and lashing out when criticized, remember, this isn't accidental. This is the continuations of a pattern that started long before him. And unless that cycle is truly broken, it won't stop here. Now, Jupiter is a 25-year-old man who genuinely believes he's not fully human. In his mind, he's a hybrid, part vampire and part werewolf, the offspring of a supernatural union between a vampire father and a werewolf mother.
I'm a hybrid between vampire and werewolf. I'm a hybrid. My dad's a vampire, my blood dad's a vampire, my blood mom's a werewolf.
And while at first glance that might sound like the setup for a bad fantasy novel or an edgy Halloween costume, in Jupiter's reality, it's deadly serious. He doesn't just say he's a hybrid, he lives it. He claims to possess powers from both sides.
Meaning I wound up with both their powers, so when I first got on with you, my skin started to itch. That's the one thing about us magical creatures. When we actually interact with others of our kind, we get itchy.
He even talks about drawing energy not from people directly, but from lifeless objects he believes he can animate. These aren't jokes or roleplay scenarios. They're delusions he's built his identity around, and they highlight just how mentally unstable he really is.
Sorry, they're kind of quiet. They're sleeping right now. There they are. Those are most of the kids we've had.
Delusions like these are often linked to psychotic disorders such as schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder, where reality and fantasy blur beyond recognition. For Jupiter, the line is not only blurred, and it's completely gone. He's so deep into this lore that it's become his way of explaining the world and his place in it.
I'm gonna be honest, that means my downstairs area. It doesn't lean at all, it just, I don't know.
He talks about his powers as if they were as real as the ground beneath his feet. But it doesn't stop there. In one instance, he proudly introduced the internet to his so-called wife, a My Little Pony doll.
This was one of the inanimate objects I brought to life. Her name's Shiratora.
With whom he claims to have children.
So, like, you've had children with her?
Yeah, but I made her promise no more after, like, our last set of triplets. I told her no more.
To Jupiter, this isn't satire or trolling, this is his family. That level of detachment from reality is more than just unsettling, it's dangerous, especially when you consider the audience he interacts with online.
What I do is I just inject some of my and then I use magic to grow the embryo over time, and then the embryo takes on a new life, and then they have to be transferred to a new body.
And one of the strangest things about Jupiter is his openness. He has a kind of misplaced honesty, not innocence, but a willingness to overshare.
I like sucking on mostly, so if a woman likes that sort of thing, then I'll do it.
Yeah.
My sister Cheyenne trained me in combat, though.
If you ask him about something, he'll usually answer, no matter how bizarre or self-incriminating it sounds. For example, when questioned about why his mattress looked filthy, He explained without hesitation, as though it was normal.
You want to know why your bed is brown?
Oh, that is just from my sweat and everything, that all the dirt that comes off my body. It's just sweat and dirt molecules. And sometimes my sweat will coat the bed and make it all brown from the dirt all over my body. So, yeah.
At the same time, he'll lie in obvious ways, almost childlike, unable to understand how transparent he's being. His delusions extend even further. Once he was convinced that the infamous hacker collective Anonymous was trying to strip him of his so-called Jupiter powers unless he repented and apologized for being a predator.
I beg your forgiveness for the that I have done. And to the rest of the world, I was a but I have seen the error of my ways and wish to be forgiven of my pedophilia crimes. And to all those others that I have hurt and wronged, I ask you to forgive me.
But even in that moment, he didn't truly accept responsibility. He wasn't apologizing to victims. He was apologizing to the gods of Jupiter, desperate not to lose his imagined powers.
I beg your forgiveness for the pedophilia I have done. And to the rest of the world, I was a pedophile, but I have seen the error of my ways and wish to be forgiven of my pedophilia crimes. And to all those others that I have hurt and wronged, I ask you to forgive me.
And perhaps the most disturbing of all, he has publicly admitted to his darkest fantasy, a violent urge to wipe out anyone who has ever wronged him.
My darkest fantasy is to watch all those who wronged me by my hand. That's my darkest one. It makes me want it's just one of my darkest fantasies of doing. I want to kill everybody who's wronged me.
Coming from someone this detached from reality, those words are chilling, because Jupiter's hybrid lore isn't just a quirky obsession.
I can make those people disappear. There's places out here in Idaho where I can bury bodies and no one would think to look. I want to bury out somewhere in Melba where no one will ever think to look.
It's the backbone of a dangerous delusional system that shields him from accountability, fuels his unstable behavior, and makes him a serious threat online. When it comes to predators like Jupiter, sometimes the most important thing isn't just what they do, it's who chooses to shine a light on them. That's where Linda Binda steps in. Linda is not just another commentator, she's the one who has meticulously pieced together Jupiter's trail of disturbing behaviors, documenting them, analyzing them, and ultimately presenting them to the public in a way that cannot be ignored. Without her tireless work, much of what Jupiter has done might have remained hidden in the corners of obscure live streams and forgotten chats. But Linda took his words, his actions, and his disturbing interactions, and made sure the world saw them clearly for what they were. And it's because of voices like hers that Jupiter's victims, and yes, we have to call them victims, aren't just silenced or brushed aside. Linda, in many ways, has become the bridge between the online chaos Jupiter created and the undeniable evidence that could be presented in a serious, journalistic way. But Jupiter's predatory behavior isn't just abstract. It's not limited to strangers on the internet. One of the most haunting examples of this is Abby.
Hello?
Is that you, Abby?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Jesus.
Abby is the start of a rabbit hole that most people won't be sure they wanted to go down. She's a girl that Jupiter himself brings up on multiple occasions, even claiming at one point that he proposed to her, despite openly talking to other girls at the same time.
Someone said that you are already engaged to someone named Abby.
Oh, right. I forgot to mention her.
Are you engaged to me or to her?
I don't know, okay? My brain is going one way while my heart's going the other, okay? I'm making it a competition to see who can make it to my place faster.
That should already raise red flags. But here's the darker truth. Abby was a child during her relationship with Jupiter.
Now, the first time she started talking was at 14, and then he's 25, she's 21.
According to multiple accounts, including an interview on the YouTube channel Sewa Moon, Abby was just 14 years old when she first met Jupiter in person.
But you were 14 when y'all met? In person?
Yeah.
That's scary to me because that means he was 18, which is illegal, and that means he's getting girls off the internet.
A grown 18-year-old man inserting himself into the life of a young teenager. And it didn't stop at inappropriate relationships. Abby later shared that at one point Jupiter mistreated her.
Has
Yeah.
Jupiter ever tried to lay hands on you?
Yes, when I was a teenager.
Ugh. In violence or?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, honey, did you tell anyone?
No, I just kept it to myself.
That breaks my heart. That absolutely breaks my heart. Does your mom know?
And when confronted about this, Jupiter, of course, denied it. That's his pattern: deny, deflect, and justify. But Abby's testimony makes it impossible to ignore. And she's not the only one. Abby is just the clearest example of a repeated cycle of Jupiter gravitating toward minors, manipulating them, and leaving them with trauma.
With a good person, and he's good at younger children, which is why we want to spread awareness, because people don't understand the true gravity of what this man does to others. And this you're helping get that word out there, because you met him.
Even if he hides behind the mask of delusions or a mental illness, the predatorial patterns are obvious. Linda recognized that, which is why she devoted an entire series of content to catching Jupiter in the act. On TikTok, she plays a satirical character posing as a decoy to bait him into revealing his true intentions. And it worked.
Do you honestly think that this is hotter than me?
Oh, hell no. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't like competition, you know that.
I know.
Take a video posted in May 2023. Linda asks him casually what he wants to do on Facebook, to which Jupiter responds without hesitation to just hang out and send him whatever she's comfortable with.
Wait, so what do you want me to do on Facebook with you?
Just chat and just hang out with me, send me whatever you're comfortable sending me. Any photos or whatever.
He justifies this by stating how receiving a picture makes him feel happy.
Wow.
One of the other girls that I dated sending me a pic, and it made me feel kind of happy.
And how with Abby he started immediately talking dirty to her.
But when Abby sent me hers, I literally went, nope. Like, in my brain, I just randomly turned off my censorship and just started, talking dirty to her.
Then he adds, as if it's nothing, that Abby told him how her family hates him, but he doesn't care about religion and stuff.
And she's like, honey, my mom and dad and everybody in my family hate you. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Hear that again. A grown man describing with no shame how a minor sending him pictures flipped a switch in his brain that led him to start talking dirty to her. That's not a delusion. That's predation.
Yeah, so am I. I'm an open book. You can ask me anything.
Yeah, so what are you into if you're not?
And here's where it gets even more disturbing. Watch closely when Jupiter is called out. He often becomes agitated and aggressive, especially if the subject turns into something he doesn't wish to talk about.
I don't know if female friends include sending pictures of yourself,
Okay, can we drop that now? It's making me feel even more agitated. Can we drop it?
Sorry, yeah, I'll drop it.
Linda herself has noted that every time she mentions anything intimate, Jupiter immediately pivots to bringing up his sister.
My sibs, we all studied ninjutsu.
How come every time I ask you about, like my desires, you bring up your sisters?
Oh, no, it's sorry, I have that bad habit of not, how can I say this? I have a short attention span.
And when pressed, he tells her to drop it because he's getting upset. This is part of a broader pattern. Avoidance mixed with aggression, a psychological defense mechanism that doubles as a red flag for predatory behavior. So when we talk about Abby, we're not just talking about one relationship. We're talking about a piece of a much larger puzzle, one that reveals how Jupiter operates. He finds vulnerable minors.
So what did you do exactly to hurt your back? If you don't mind me asking, honey.
Well, I don't remember. I think I just threw it out somewhere.
Are you sure you were of me? Let me guess.
He manipulates them into situations where boundaries are blurred or broken.
Have you ever thought about maybe becoming a star? Have you ever thought about that? I mean, what if you and I decided to make, if ever you and I got married and we decided to make our own videos, and we added them to different sites and they paid us a butt ton of money, would you consider doing it with me every time?
And then he lashes out when confronted. Linda's work makes all of this undeniable. Her decoy conversations and her careful documentation of Jupiter's statements have built a case that shows both sides of him. The mentally unstable man lost in bizarre hybrid delusions.
I'm thinking about one day getting a Colt 45 pistol, though. I've always wanted one.
and the predator who exploits his innocent honesty to get close to children. But Abby's story is the one that should make every viewer stop and think, because Abby wasn't just an online chat. She wasn't just a name dropped in passing. She was a child who was manipulated and publicly admitted to being abused by a man who still roams online platforms unchecked.
Y'all, she was 14, Jupiter was 18 when they met. And he put his hands on her, and she didn't report it. She was scared. She didn't want to tell her parents. She didn't want to be punished for it, which is absolutely heartbreaking that you were worried about that in that moment.
And if that doesn't terrify you, think about how many Abbies might still be out there. How many conversations went undocumented. How many minors slipped under the radar because they didn't have a Linda to speak for them. This is why parental awareness is critical. To safeguard children from predators like Jupiter, parents must educate them about online safety, supervise their activities, and establish firm boundaries. Privacy settings, critical thinking skills, and open communication with trusted adults aren't optional anymore. They're survival tools. Because predators don't announce themselves. They slip in through casual chats, fake intimacy, and moments of misplaced trust. Abby's story is the warning. Linda's reporting is the alarm bell. And Jupiter's ongoing behavior proves the threat hasn't gone away.
Someone said that you were dating for show.
Yeah, it was just for show. It was just a show.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I was doing it for show. People need to stop acting like I did something wrong. I was only doing it for show.
If anything, it's only evolving. When we zoom out from the viral clips, the chaotic live streams, and even the heartbreaking stories like Abby's, a chilling pattern begins to form around Jupiter.
I'm trying so hard not to laugh out of joy for this, but Linda?
Yes?
Will you become my queen? Will you become my mate for life?
Oh my gosh, I would love to. I'm literally on all fours right now.
It's not just one-off moments or accidents. It's a way of operating, a cycle of predatory behavior that he seems unable or unwilling to break.
Ask him to howl.
Okay, but only this once.
You sounded like Mariah Carey right there.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the clearest red flags lies in how he manages his online presence. On the surface, Jupiter might not appear as active as other creators.
Hey everybody, it's Jupiter here. My other account got banned, sadly, but hey, I still have this one, right?
His accounts are scattered, rarely updated, sometimes left dormant for weeks. But that inconsistency is deceptive. And because when you look closely, what he does post reveals something far more sinister. He knows how to work his way around to not get caught.
I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep doing TikTok because that is something that strengthens the boundaries between... I'm letting this message here is for all of you trying to cause me trouble and cause me drama. I will not bow down to you. Understand me? I'm not gonna bow down. So, go away and stop.
For instance, Jupiter has used accounts under names connected to the paranormal. At first glance, that might seem like a random choice, but think about who those accounts are most likely to attract kids. Teenagers scrolling late at night, curious about ghosts, vampires, demons, or anything supernatural. Children already intrigued by the very themes Jupiter obsessively weaves into his hybrid lore. It's bait disguised as branding. The content may not have had anything to do with paranormal, but the name alone worked like a net, pulling in young and impressionable viewers who never realized the danger lurking on the other side of the screen. And Jupiter knows exactly how to position himself for those interactions. He even acknowledges having a relationship with someone far younger. He tries to play it off with a bizarre kind of honesty, but it doesn't come across as a confession. It comes across as a predator too comfortable with his behavior. In one particularly disturbing admission, Jupiter talks about how a girl he had dated previously put allegations against him.
This one chick who I dated back in high school, know what she did after I her? Press charges on me.
Most people faced with an accusation like that would either deny it outright, seek legal defense, or avoid talking about it altogether. Jupiter, however, brings it up almost casually, as if it's just another footnote in his life. The way he frames it is even more alarming. There's no real sense of accountability, no reflection, no acknowledgement of the seriousness. Instead, it becomes another piece of the ongoing narrative he builds for himself, where he's either the misunderstood victim or the chosen hybrid above normal morality.
Hey everyone, sorry I've been gone for so long. But yeah, I did I do and I did and I still do regret my actions. You guys need to back off. I'm doing okay. I just haven't had any time to post. Oh, and Anonymous.
But Jupiter's most telling defense doesn't come when he talks about himself. It comes when he talks about his brothers. Remember, both of Jupiter's brothers are registered offenders, convicted of crimes involving minors. For most families, that would be a dark stain, something you try to distance yourself from. But not Jupiter. Instead, he defends them. He argues that they were framed, that they didn't actually commit the crimes they were convicted for.
You doing it again.
Well, Jupiter, what's your brother in jail for?
He got framed for something he didn't do.
What
What
did he
is
get
it?
framed for? What did he get framed for?
I'd rather not talk about it.
I mean, but it's already out there, brother. Can you explain? Because he got framed, like you said. It's a frame job. Let the people know at least.
He cast doubt on the victims in the legal process, choosing instead to rewrite the narrative. His brothers are the ones wronged. This is dangerous for two reasons. First, it shows how deeply normalized predatory behavior is in his worldview. He doesn't just excuse it in himself, he excuses it in others. And second, it reveals how fragile his grip on reality really is. Because for Jupiter, the pattern of abuse in his family isn't something to question. It's something to deny and protect.
He f***ed one. I'm not going to say the full word. He
raped
effed
a
one.
child.
He F'd one? What did he mean he F'd one?
This willingness to defend predators while simultaneously engaging in predatory behavior himself creates a vicious cycle. It blurs the line between personal delusion and intentional harm.
Father is clean. Only two brothers have been in prison. One currently still, one out and living a good life.
And one's
Mind
gonna
you.
go in. What was the other one in there for, Jupiter?
Exactly what I told you about. He got framed for circulating.
But you said there were two brothers in jail. Was the other one in there for the same stuff?
Let's just say he won.
On one hand, Jupiter clearly suffers from severe mental illness. His hybrid identity, his belief in supernatural powers, his paranoia, all of these reflect someone deeply detached from reality.
I have this thing called the bad boy aura, where I give off a bad boy vibe, and girls love that about me.
But on the other hand, his actions toward minors, his accounts designed to lure children, his dismissive attitude toward accusations, and his defense of his brothers all point to a much darker truth. Mental illness doesn't erase predation.
You all to know that I accept my consequences in life. I accepted myself. I accepted that most of you don't like me. And I accept that you think I'm a pedophile. I accept that. I accept that. You can call me what you wish.
And this is where the internet becomes especially dangerous, because Jupiter isn't the type of predator who hides behind false sophistication or elaborate schemes.
I have this hairbrush and I'm showing them. And this is, people always ask me if I brush my hair. Yes, this is the hairbrush I use.
Don't tell them where you it though. Because that would be inappropriate.
He's the kind who hides in plain sight. He leverages his delusions as both a shield and a lure. I'm too weird to be dangerous becomes the mask. But behind that mask is someone who continues to pursue minors and to refuse accountability at every turn. Parents scrolling past a channel with the word paranormal in the username might not think twice. Teens curious about werewolves or hybrids might laugh at his eccentricities, dismissing him as just another quirky internet figure. But underneath it all, Jupiter's accounts act like traps. Spaces where children can stumble into conversations that quickly turn dangerous. And because he's inconsistent, inactive at times, he can't be easily tracked. He floats from one space to another, always carrying with him the same patterns of manipulation. Let's not forget that in his own words, Jupiter once described how his relationships with minors began. He paints it almost romantically, as if it were mutual, as if it were normal. But these are children. There's no mutuality, no balance, no consent. When a grown man even begins to justify these dynamics, it exposes everything. Even more alarming is the way he lashes out when confronted. Time and time again, people like Linda have pressed him on his actions, and each time Jupiter's tone shifts, first defensive, then angry, sometimes even threatening.
I'm not joking, Jupiter. You need to stop talking to children. Can I ask you a serious question? This question may clean your name, and it may not. Here's the big question. Have you touched the little kid? Have you touched the little kid?
No.
Have you asked for perfect pictures, Jupiter?
This is not just instability, it's aggression layered over guilt. The facade of innocent honesty cracks the moment accountability comes near. And so, his predatory behavior isn't just about his victims. It's about the culture he creates around himself. A space where children are lured in under the guise of paranormal interest.
Hey. Sophia. I know that you're crushing on me. I know that deep down. So, here's my video to you. The reason why I want to be your boyfriend.
A space where accusations are brushed aside as lies. A space where even his own family's crimes are rewritten to fit his distorted worldview.
Blue eyes are pretty cool, especially my blue eyes white dragon cards that I have in my Yu-Gi-Oh deck. I have 4 blue eyes in my deck.
If you're watching this, ask yourself, how many other Jupiters are out there right now? How many predators are hiding behind eccentric usernames, bizarre delusions, or half-baked personas that make people laugh instead of paying attention? Because the scariest part about Jupiter isn't just his hybrid delusions, it's how ordinary his predation looks when hidden behind them.
Okay, Maya, 3 reasons we should date. 1, if you like what you see, then take it. 2, if you think that you'll be able to handle me, then that's on you. 3, you're cute as hell, and I'd love to have you on my arm. Thanks for watching, Maya. These are my reasons for you to date me.
It's how easily a child could stumble across his account, think they found a strange but harmless personality, and suddenly end up in a private chat they should never have been in.
And I enjoyed what you said, and I would love to be yours. Let me show you what I mean by that. When you ask me to howl for you, well, this is what I'm gonna do. And yes, if you want to be mine, then you like what you see, then take it. That's all I gotta say to you. If you like me and like what you see, take it for yourself. I'm willing to be yours forever, if you want me to be.
This is why predators like Jupiter can't be dismissed as just weird internet people. His brothers weren't framed, his victims weren't lying, and his accounts aren't random. They are deliberate, they are dangerous, and they are proof that sometimes they just need to look strange enough that no one bothers to take them seriously.
So, your name is Sophia, right? Well, this little devil wants you to know the reason why he wants you to date him is because if you like what you see, you take it. You like what you want, then grab it. You know the price, and buy it. These are the reasons why I want you to date me. Is you're cute, you make me laugh, you make me smile, and I love you, and hopefully you will love me in return.
By this point in Jupiter's saga, law enforcement had already been involved. The Nampa Police Department visited him after repeated reports and concerns.
And I had just gotten up. The police open the door, yell out, "Nampa PD! Freeze!" And I froze. I put up my hands, knelt down on the floor.
He's even admitted to it on streams. But the chilling part isn't that the cops came, it's how he interpreted their visit. Jupiter genuinely believes the police won't touch him because of his mental disabilities.
You're so needy. You're so attention seeker. You're so needy. I love you, but you're so needy. I just wish that you were here already.
He said things along the lines of, they won't deal with me, and I've got autism and ADHD, I've got the mindset of a 12-year-old. In his mind, that alone shields him from accountability.
You all honestly think I'm gonna go to prison? Check your facts before you do anything stupid. And back the hell up. And back the hell down. Final warning, people. Leave me alone. I don't care.
But here's the reality. In most legal systems, a person's ability to understand right from wrong matters more than their diagnosis. If someone, even with cognitive impairments, knows their actions are harmful and can foresee the consequences, they can still be held legally responsible. And Jupiter knows.
Before the police showed up, I deleted half the shit that was questionable on my phone because I did not want to be seen as somebody who's evil. I don't want that. So I wiped my phone. I kept an experiment log on my laptop, but it wasn't filled with anything. It was just experiments that I was running in my head, little scenarios. I'm rehabilitating myself mentally and reevaluating.
He knows enough to hide and to deny, to make excuses. That alone shows a level of awareness far beyond the 12-year-old mindset he claims. He even admits his apologies aren't real. They're just to please his so-called Jupiter gods that are, at least for now, anonymous. That's not innocence. That's calculated self-preservation.
Oh, and Anonymous, I dare you to try and hurt me. You know not where I live.
And yet, even while saying this, Jupiter continues to expose the depth of his predation. He even acknowledges having a relationship with someone far younger.
It's just,
Who
this is your girlfriend? She's born. So this is your girlfriend?
Yes, in the UK. In the UK, she actually, in the UK, 16 is actually considered adulthood. Did you know?
Worse, when pressed about how many minors he's in contact with. His answer isn't clear, it's a lot. He can't even keep track of them all.
I'm from Idaho, though. That's the state I come from.
Oh, I come a lot from Utah. Are you single?
Depends on how you view me. I date multiple women, yes. But
At the same time?
yeah.
I'm single and I'm looking for someone special.
When asked how he contacts them, he walks viewers through his process like it's second nature.
I can't. I just
Let's
don't
just
know.
get into them. Let's just how do you mostly talk to people?
I'm only looking for new friends whenever I'm on social media, like on.
Snapchat is his main tool. He says he uses it to make new friends and talk to new people. Predators love Snapchat. It gives them privacy, anonymity, and direct access to kids.
Snapchat is where I make mostly new friends, new people, I hang out with people on Snapchat a lot because I want to make new.
The app's disappearing message feature creates a false sense of security, making it one of the riskiest tools for inappropriate online interactions with younger users. Jupiter admits he just randomly adds people who pop up as suggested, knowing full well many will be underage.
You're just randomly adding people who come up as like suggested and shit?
Something like that, yes.
And that's how you find all these minors.
TikTok is another platform. The name paranormal that he attaches to his accounts draws in curious children who are into ghosts, monsters, or the supernatural. They click because it looks fun and mysterious, but instead they find them. And then there's gaming platforms. Jupiter casually mentions playing Sea of Thieves on Xbox Live with friends.
I actually have some. So, online on Xbox Live, I play with these boys, and
he even admits some of them are a little young, but dismisses it, saying, "We're just friends online and we hang out, that's all. But predators don't need to lurk in dark alleys anymore."
But you sent the dick pic to a child.
Yeah, it happened. So what?
They can just log in, grab a headset, and befriend your child in a digital pirate ship. This is the pattern. He creates spaces that children naturally wander into, whether through paranormal branding, Snapchat ads, or video games, and then positions himself as the friendly, misunderstood adult who just wants friends.
So I skirted around the issue, and they took my Xbox One, my phone, and my laptop and left.
But what makes this so disturbing isn't just the behavior itself. It's that it happens with the knowledge of his caregivers. Remember, Jupiter is now in a care facility, a center designed to treat his mental illness and provide structure, and yet he still has open access to the internet.
First thing is, everybody's wondering the big question, why aren't the police doing anything? Where he is at, he is currently in a place where they are keeping an eye on him. However, he is free to come and go. Kind of, they just know where he's going, who he's with.
He's still able to stream, to message, to play with kids. There are even clips where staff walk in and out of his room while he is being interviewed, barely paying attention to what he's doing. Devices have been confiscated before, but always given back. That means the very people tasked with protecting him, and by extension, protecting society from him, are enabling this cycle to continue.
The problem that they're having with charging him is that there's nobody coming forward that says, yes, I was a minor, yes, this happened. So like they have the videos and stuff, but without names and faces and whatnot, they really can't do it.
And it's not just internet chatter. His own sister, Kia, said it plainly.
In a room alone with a child, what do you think would happen?
11 onward, there might be more or something far worse. But if it's older, like 17, 16, 15, they might be able to kick his butt and come out okay.
That's coming from someone who grew up with him. If that doesn't send a chill down your spine, I don't know what will, because at the heart of this story is a contradiction we don't want to face. Jupiter is mentally ill, yes. His hybrid delusions, his paranoia, his bizarre fantasies, they're not faked. But he's also a predator.
I wasn't looking. Yeah.
Well, hold up,
If you
Jupiter.
look
Let's
at my
let.
eyes,
What?
if you look
We
at my
got-
eyes, you can tell that I'm drunk. You could tell by the
Okay.
way my eyes are dilated. If you look into those eyes in the picture there, you can see that my eyes are dilated from drinking.
And predators who know the difference between right and wrong don't stop being dangerous just because they have diagnoses. And so we're left with this bizarre sadness. On one hand, a man so deeply lost in delusion that he talks about Jupiter gods and hybrid powers.
I am this timeline's original Jupiter. I'm from this timeline. You're messing everything up for me. So go turn yourself in, say you stole my identity. Go turn yourself into the police, because I'm not going to have this. Tomorrow I'm going to the police for identity theft. You've stolen everything from me. And I'm not going to let you get away with it. Not anymore. This has to stop. What you're doing is identity theft. Do I look happy about this? No. I'm pissed off.
On the other, a predator who intentionally kills children through disappearing messages, games, and fan interactions. He isn't harmless. He isn't a quirky internet troll. He's a risk.
You're all crossing a line.
Corbin, you crossed the line when you talk to kids.
And yet, he's still online, still streaming, still in chats, still believing he's untouchable because of autism, ADHD, or the 12-year-old brain excuse.
Yeah. You're f***ing with a 12-year-old minded man. You're dealing with a disabled adult. Thinks the cops are gonna give a shit. They're not.
Still protected by a system that confiscates devices one day and hands them back the next. So here's the question we need to ask. When does compassion for mental illness cross into enabling predation? Because right now, Jupiter represents the perfect storm of failure, failed family, failed systems, failed safeguards. Keep making excuses. Keep treating him like he's harmless.
We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us.
That's where we leave it. This is the story of Jupiter, the self-proclaimed hybrid predator still roaming the internet. But it's not just his story, because for every Jupiter we see, there are countless others we don't. Not all of them are locked in group homes. Not all of them are under watch. Some of them are just one click away from your child's screen. If someone can be both deeply delusional and dangerously predatory, where do we draw the line between treatment and accountability?